Camilla's VP pick Tim Walz linked to Wuhan lab. Man, stuff more and more stuff keep coming out about Tim Walz and his links to China, how he and his wife, took their honeymoon out there, and he took all these trips there. He is definitely sound like a Manchurian candidate. He definitely sound like China owns this guy. But we're too busy running around talking about Russia, worried about Russia, when the real threat is actually China. And they just arrested someone that was in New York Governor's Kathy Hochul's administration that was a Chinese spy. So what is really going on here? They're deflecting and talking about Russia like that's really a big deal, when the real, like I said, the real enemy, the real problem is China and how they got their tentacles all in our government. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account as well, so follow me there as well. I put tons of news and stuff out there, especially during the late night when I find this stuff out. I'll post it and post videos and stuff on Instagram and on X, so check those out as well. All right, so let's talk. Let's get into this news here. This comes from the National Pulse. I'm not seeing a author here. I like to give credit to where I get these things from, get these articles from, but like I said, I don't see a author here. But they report that Kamala Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz, promoted a medical research center with a long-standing partnership with the Wuhan Institute of Virology, WIV, in China. As a member of Congress, Walz secured millions of dollars in funding for the Minnesota-based Hormel Institute, which collaborates with the WIV on numerous research projects, including a 2020 study on COVID-19. We all know what I believe about that. I was one of the first people to come out, my old channel, to come out and say that I believe that the Wuhan virus leaked from the COVID-19 leaked from the Wuhan lab, and I believe it was on purpose. They used it as a bioweapon to stop Trump from winning the 2020 election. Y'all know how I feel about that. I talk about that numerous times. But the revelation of Walz's involvement with the Hormel Institute and the Wuhan lab is the latest in a concerning series of connections between the Minnesota Democrat and Communist China. Now, while in Congress, Walz secured over $2 million in funding for the institute affiliated with the University of Minnesota. Quote, for 80 years, the Hormel Institute has helped pave the way for Minnesota to lead in biomedical innovation, the 2024 Democratic Party's vice president nominee said in April, praising the research center. Walz added, quote, it was great to stop by their facilities yesterday in Austin to see that work in action. The National Pulse previously reported that Walz is facing a congressional investigation over his ties to China. So, again, this is not some made up stuff. They are literally looking into the ties of this man. And China, like, I can't remember how many times he actually visited China while he was in the military. And mind you, when you go to adversary countries like this, you have to get permission before you head over there. And in a letter last month, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer pressed Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI Director Christopher Wray, who's just another evil individual, to provide his committee with any materials the agency has regarding Walz's Chinese connections. Walz, who has traveled to China 30 times, 30 times, including for his honeymoon, stated in 2016 that he believes the Chinese Communist Party does not necessarily need to be viewed as an adversary entity. Think about that. The Communist Party, he said, we don't have to think of as adversary. This guy is definitely a Chinese stooge. But additionally, the Minnesota Democrat praised the CCP and lauded the ideals of international communism to students at a Nebraska high school while teaching in the state during the 1990s. We all know he's a communist, just like his running mate running for president, Kamala Harris. That's why she chose him. But earlier this year, the U.S. government halted federal funding to a nonprofit collaborating with the Wuhan lab, which the FBI suggests as likely source of the novel coronavirus. Researchers from the Hormel Institute, the WIV, and other Chinese institutions have frequently co-authored studies. Ben Liu, a Hormel Institute professor involved in several studies with Wuhan-based researchers, attended Wuhan University. See how these all come together? The same people working together. I believe Walz is a Chinese stooge. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.